see what happens now. How about now? The delay is so weird. I might actually do a character sheet for each one of the pictures. Um, I can get have a full sheet. Is it? Do I need to boost it more, or is it good where it is? Hiccups. Uh, Hiccups as in while I'm speaking, or do I just stop? Yeah, but does it cut like in the middle of my talking, or is it just kind of cut off when I stop? I don't know if it's me being weird and not knowing how to properly speak upon being streamed and being judged by everybody, or and that ended at the or voice activation, just using the default whatever's in the OBS how it starts up. I try switching to a push to talk. As soon as I find where to do that. No, my mic is just open mic. Push to talk. So yeah, those are the pictures I picked out. I don't know which one you guys find more interesting from just a purely picture-based standpoint. They could be basically anything, actually, because the one you're calling a mage could easily be a rigger in a welding shop, or could be, bioluminescent tattoos and that kind of stuff, which is, as I ruin everything by playing with my Transformers, um, which is kind of the whole point about this little exercise, is the the only inspiration we currently have is their pictures, and going from there, we'll be filling in the rest of it based upon their pictures. Is he a face, or is he a street Sam with two cyber arms? So which one do you guys want to build? Or I'll let you guys talk about it for a minute, then I guess. Bottom right. So So I'm seeing bottom left and bottom right here. Which one do you guys want to do? Or should I say do first? It was actually fairly intentional, Patty. I kind of wanted to go with something that was. I originally had a different picture up there than the elf. Um, I wanted to go with something that would be the same across the entire priority table by going all humans as opposed to mixing in trolls and orcs and things, because that would then force the build down certain ways. If that makes sense. That, and I only have a couple of cool troll pictures and not nearly enough to. Like, I also intentionally picked 2 male, 2 female here. Um, and trolls smell and nobody likes them anyway. I might if I can find enough pictures to facilitate it. Um, Sadly, most of my picture folder is full of humans and mostly females, because in the future that is all that will be alive. Or at least that's what art tells me. So we'll do bottom right. Alright. Bring up my hair of that. So we already know that she is a human. So I open up a copy of that picture for myself. So looking at her right off the bat, what how we feeling about her as far as her various things? Yeah, feeling mundane. She definitely looks tough, so we will probably give her a decent body and some other physical stats associated with it. How can I change it so you guys can um, upload pictures to my folder? Alright, that is something I'll have to see about. Yeah, you think she's lower on skills, higher on money? She had a rough time down here, or she had time to fit in where she can and kind of take what works comes her way. We will throw an arm on here because we know that she has that. Do you think that that is her offhand or her main hand that she has cybered out? Um, I am not a smoker, so I don't know which way you usually hold your cigarettes, but that's a pretty good indication right there of how that works out. So probably more utilitarian than functional, because if it's going to be her, if it's not her main hand, she's not going to spend all the money to get it tricked out. We'll totally throw in a cyber finger lighter, because if you're going to smoke, you're going to have a lighter on you. Possible. That's why I couldn't find that I was still in the arm itself. So I did a little zooming in here. Click on up here left. Looks like her eyes are more of a reddish color rather than a normal one, and right in around here. Looks like it's got a little red there. God, I can't ping here. See how well I can actually zoom in. This. You think that would be more of cyber eyes or more of her real eyes? The way it's with the way it's reflecting and such. Laser eyes. Like modifications. Yeah. Looks like we got. Well, let's just ask. Um, take a little bit of a vote here because that is the whole point of the situation is to kind of communal things. So we'll go with some alpha aware eyes from what Flatland's talking about there. But sure. Yeah, I was kind of thinking maybe some ortho skin to help with the healing process of the various uh, cuts and stuff that she has on herself. Let's go in here and get some ortho. I'm gonna come back over here to the common stuff. Um, Need to practice juggling all my tabs here. I feel like her gauges are more fashionable than functional. I'm not sure that she would get the I want to say more cosmetic type cyberware. Like I feel like the orthoskin was maybe to replace or help in the healing process of her getting wrecked. Uh, Maybe along the same time as her eyes and the arm. Not sure how you guys feel about that general idea. I don't know if you guys have some, but the laser. Think she's too tough for the streets? And we'll go with one more body just to kind of. So I think that that is her base stat line right there. Um, 5 body from being city slicker or more of a street kid. So I city slicker. Yeah, no, she feels like a. Yeah, I saw somebody mention the criminal sin earlier, and I like the idea that this is not her first tangle with the police. Do you think she's a more of an ex-con or more of just a criminal sinner? Okay, so she's currently sinless then. Um, the way that she is just completely uh you think she's a sinner? Think she's actually a person in the eyes of the law? Not necessarily make her a person, but they definitely do also feel like the attitude she's putting out is definitely gives cops all kinds of grief. It doesn't like them. I also saw Patty was talking about the the city kid parkour kind of stuff. Um, let's see what the on lamp does. Kind of want to skip the on the lamp because I feel like we can get some other more appropriate qualities in there. I was thinking maybe toughness because she's she's a tough person. Maybe a um, tough as nails in there as well. Uh, maybe a sense of the maybe sense of direction. I'm gonna jump into skills real quick just throw some stuff. Urban Explorer tropes in there for now. That's a bit. Just a little chromatic on top to make it nice. So I was a little torn on the 5 points of skill groups that we have. I was thinking outdoors. I was thinking stealth. I was thinking athletics. We can name her when she's done. Um, all three of those skill groups really kind of fit what we got going on so far. Um, so what do you guys think about 3 stealth, 2 outdoors, and then 1 for athletics? Just so that that's there in front of you guys to look at. She doesn't look like somebody that uses disguise. However, I could see with the hair coloring and the general look of her appearance that she could use the disguise in a more cosmetic fashion rather than hiding her identity. It's just cross-compatible skills. Um, I do, however, see her as a bit of a thief and could totally make use of the pickpocketing and palming skills. So that is kind of my thought process on that. But since Hero Lab makes everything nice and easy, I will throw these guys in there, that kind of stuff, and then mess with them as we go. Because there is a bit of um, validity to splitting up the stealth group, because we could then specialize our sneaking skill into urban, because she is a street rat. That is where she lives and where she thrives. Um, and then we could spec the palming a little bit, but we can also tweak that a little bit as things go. Um, threw a bunch of pistols dice in there. I feel like she also needs intimidation. She looks like the kind of person that will get up in your face and not be afraid to throw down. What was the karma cost for Baron's Rat 4? Crack a box. Oh, cost 5. Not scared quality. Um, so we're butting up against our positive quality limit. There is a guts quality that we could take. There's a toughness quality we could take. There is a natural athlete we could take. There is um, tough as nails. Um, what other quality? There's Cat Lake we could also take. Suppose I should just kind of. Ooh, Daredevil. She look like a Daredevil? Tolerance. Too laid back for Daredevil? Alright, I see it. She don't care. She just gotta finish her cigarette. Back to it. Toughness can also kind of feel like guts, but not in a uh, straight up mechanical way. But it is a good way to represent her actual toughness. Is my headset decided it's about time for it to die? So let me just type out real quick the options I was thinking about for the rest of our positive quality points. Common sense. Maybe. I like toughness too. You think she has bad rap? Or maybe combat junkie? Maybe uneducated. Did she go to school, or did she just learn everything on the streets? I don't think that messes with any of the active skills we've learned. Yeah. So let's kind of see what we got going on. She'll definitely have a not quite shitty comp because she does live in the Barrens. Uh, Probably has an additional one or two just because criminal activity and stuff. Apparently it's just down to the three of us now. I don't know what happened to Patty and whoever else was here. Um, that's not important though. So let's see where we can fill in the rest of her skills and what she might actually be pretty good at. Feel like she has a vehicle? Maybe a bike? I like it, Flatland. That makes complete sense. We're going to break up the stealth group, get a couple more points in the athletics group to support the runner, and we're going to individually purchase stealth and palm. Oh, how could I not grab escape artist? Because she's clearly been arrested before. This is obviously a cuff specialization. So we have 8 skill points left. I don't know how well you guys can actually see that. Maybe just some street etiquette? I feel like she probably knows a bit of the law of the land. This way she knows who not to upset. Um, um, do you guys feel like we have 5 skill points left? Do you feel like we should boost anything? Or is there another skill that really kind of fits what we're going at here? She is uneducated though. Do you think that she maybe just knows somebody to get that fixed, or maybe just one with a spec? I feel like she would have an audio spec. I feel like she's used to listening for things that are sneaking up on her and sirens in the distance and that kind of thing, rather than the power gamer visual spec. So you guys have to say that. Now, I'm not going to go through and buy out all of her random gear just because that is a slog, but there would definitely be um, contacts, earbuds, the normal everyday stuff, just because why would you not have that stuff? We have a bunch of money left, and we haven't really done anything with our wonderful cyber arm here. Um, she would obviously have fast talking spec because she has had to try and talk her way out of all kinds of crazy situations, lying to the cops. No. Tell you what, let's leave those last 4 skill points unspent for right now, and we'll see what we can round out with the rest of her sheet, then come back to it. So we have this cyber arm here that's got all kinds of capacity available for it. Given as she's got all of the wonderful zippers all over her pants, pretty sure there would be a smuggling compartment in here. That's a good one. Would she have locksmithing? See, this is why I'm practicing, guys, and I appreciate it. I imagine that, oh yeah, it was locksmithing. Can also boost up our cyber eyes as well. We have some space left in that. So what do you guys think? Upgrade the arm or upgrade our eyes? Because we do have 90,000 to spend still. We need probably about 30 of that for stand in front of sentinels. What's in the arm? Sorry. See that fix. I probably didn't hit the edit button to save changes as I moved it around. So hopefully you guys can see it now. Oh, you know what it's probably doing? Hold on. Try this. There it is. So what was happening was uh, the pop-up little window is a separate window capture, so I had to set that up to change things. Let me see if that actually changed. Yeah, I saw that. If he gets back in here, I should be able to make him a mod. Uh, So how we got a smuggling compartment in her arm because she has all the wonderful little zipper things on her pants and stuff, so she has all kinds of pockets that carry all her junk. Wonder if you could actually just straight whisper. That would work. I don't know, Patty. But moving on. Um, we have 90,000 yen to spend. 30 of that will likely be spent on various gear, um, your normal electronics, lockpicking stuff, that kind of thing. What else do we kind of want to trick out her arm with? Um, Probably not an actual cyber weapon because that is her weekend. I imagine it is more utility than it is a weapon. Um, but we do have all kinds of crazy things that we toss in there. Uh, what do you guys think? I feel like with her idea of being a tough girl, we'd throw some armor on there, make her a little tougher. Kind of want to think she would have a grapple gun, or is that um, what you call it? Too fancy? I think she's more hands-on, kind of slow-mo. climbing claws on these? Let me just double check what her strength is. Threw a little bit of climbing claws in there to kind of help that. Won't be nearly as effective with only like one, but kind of just makes it happen. Probably also for epic bitch slaps when the time is right. Probably. Do you think she would get retractable climbing claws in her offhand, like her meat hand, or just in the cyber arm? All right. Yeah, no, you're right. It makes little sense. Uh, so since she does all of this hands-on stuff, do you think her base strength is higher than the three that it's average? I'm just gonna stick. Trying to get Patty back involved. I was thinking the Predator because the Predator is like the most common pistol on the market. Uh, Something she can get a hold of quickly, dispose of easily, and not really give a whole lot of in-depth want and love, which is kind of why I also didn't slap like a personalized grip or trick it out. I just left it stock. Is that a revolver though? About a Beretta. Beretta? She's also probably the person type of person a holdout of some kind, strapped somewhere. And I imagine she. Do you think she works on fully disposable um, equipment? Like, or do you think she has a weapon that she likes to carry, hold on to? Maybe a street line special that it's, I don't know, stashed in the small upper back or something like that that is actually tricked out, or do you think it's all just fire and forget weapons? So we'll give her a street line special. I'm not going to worry about the ammo because that's far too much actual work for this thing. But at the moment, she has a Predator, a Beretta, and a street line special. When we upped her strength and gave her the climbing balls and stuff, do we want to change her locksmith to unarmed combat? Is she scrappy? pistol whipping is unfortunately clubs. Um, However, epic bitch slapping with climbing claws is definitely unarmed. Now we have 25 karma laying about that we can still do things with. We probably won't need it for gear. We could pick up a um, couple of little point skills. But I was also thinking martial arts. As a street kid, or with the criminal center, like the 52 blocks, um, could be a very good option. There's also parkour. Let's throw some, definitely kip up. Uh, I thought of something else she could probably use as her day job. We grab back over here into cyberware stuff. A data lock. How good of one of these guys do you think they would have? I imagine it was not something she purchased, but was something that was purchased for her as part of her quotes job. A little something to kind of fit under them. Um, this is true. Um, so since unarmed combat doesn't have a parkour specialization, yeah, throw data check on there, sure. Chances are that's on the other side of her head. I imagine she keeps both sides of her head shaved and big poof on top. Who does she know? She totally knows a drug dealer because that is how I imagine her passing her time, especially when it comes to some kind of um, combat boost. Probably takes a bunch of jazz or cram or something along those lines. Um, that kind of stuff. Who else do you think she knows? I don't. I don't feel like it would be deep weed, just because deep weed is like $400 a hit, and she doesn't seem like the kind of person that would invest that much money in just a cheap high. I feel like it would be more of a um, be more of an opportunity type drugs. A local made man, is that her? That's probably her air quotes shadow connection or whoever calls her up to do things. Oh yeah, no, you're right. The smuggler's totally a better idea with her part of her career aspects. Do you think they're more friends or more business? He's a douche nozzle. I like. So we just have a little bit of stuff to finish out here. Do you guys want to name them, or should we just come up with name? Uh, Smuggler. We do have 3 karma that we can still spend if we wanted to either boost one of them up or throw another little contact on there, or maybe a street urchin. Does she perhaps know a younger version of herself, as I do air quotes that you guys can't see? Maybe somebody that runs lookout for her or something along those lines. Script kitty. Yeah, it's kind of what I was thinking when it was just somebody that can be nondescript and that kind of stuff. I'm only slightly worried about the script kitty idea because with a 3 connection, um, as my headset randomly turns off. fill in some knowledge skills real quick. Area knowledge. Obviously have a spec in spec in the Barrens or a spec in something else. I feel you. I'm on board now. Right. She obviously knows a couple of people in gangs, so that's obviously in there. Um, um, you think rooftops or um, urban spelunking, like sewers and stuff? I feel like we want to throw something fluffy in here, like music, some kind of specialization. Although I don't know, Trog Rock, Goblin Rock, whichever one it is. You. All right, we'll stay out of the sewers. Will not be a Ninja Turtle this day. I feel like I want to take a page out of Omni's book here. Portion of procedures, specialization of being arrested. I have to throw some random things. She got to talk real quick. So we have 2 effective knowledge skill points. Let me see about making this a little bit easier for you guys to Visualize. What are you guys feeling like for the rest of her stuff? I kind of want to throw 1 point on there in Orzette, just so she knows all the swear words. What do you guys think? So I feel like that extra 40 grand that we have lying around will easily fill out her fake sins, um, a lifestyle of some kind. Because I imagine she has to, with a criminal sin, she will need a place that she lives on the books and a place that she actually lives. Um, if you guys want to come up with some names for her 3 contacts, I'm gonna go and run to the potty, and then I have an idea on how we can test how well this actually worked out to what we had in mind. Um, I'll just leave it on the contact screen for a second, and I will be right back. Data jack. I like it. Maybe Johnny Doe. Maybe he has a little bit of a mafia type connection, and they kind of bust his balls with that. Like, throw that on there. Uh, couple of other little things I want to tweak. As my voice goes way up at the end of that for no reason. Through an orientation system and a math SPU in her arm. Um, Mostly the orientation system will be so she doesn't get lost and will be able to quickly. So Flatland, what it actually is, the way Hero Lab works for whatever reason, when it comes to the sub menus like that, the OBS that I'm using treats that as a different window. So it actually has to I have to share that as a source as opposed to just the Hero Lab as a source. It's kind of annoying. I'm not sure how or what I can do about that. I could do a monitor capture. Yep, that seems to do it. Her eyes so far actually don't have a whole lot of stuff tossed into them. But we do have the money to kind of boost them up a little bit. You know what? She actually probably would have spent a little bit of extra money on these to get something like thermographic. Thermo and low light are, for the most of it, at least in my eyes, interchangeable. We can get low light. We can get low light and an eye light system so that she is able to use them to see. But I feel like it's more of a thermographic because this way, um, with the eye light to support the low light, it ends up being a way that she can be detected. Glare protection. Yeah, no, we have the money and we have the capacity. We can do that. Um, I'm gonna throw some eye protectors on there because they're cool. I like the Deus Ex feel of them, just like shunk. think. Exactly. I think that might be her finished except for a street name. You guys got a street name in mind, or should we let that go for now? It's kind of tough.
Hey man,
Hi, poet. How are you?
I'm good. How's it going?
It's
So, what exactly did you want to do? Did you want to just like give me a picture and
so.
come up with shits?
Ass-
Like,
uh, Assuming that you
what's
haven't
the deal?
actually watched the little bit of streaming that I was doing, Patty, Topher, and Gwyn, I totally ruin his name all the time, and I don't feel bad about it at all. Um,
He's from Europe. I'm not supposed to be able to pronounce it.
spoken like an American.
Yeah.
I can dig it. All right, so we've spent the last hour and 20 odd minutes putting together what is tentatively called Patience, and I wanted to send it to you so that you would be able to look at it and give me your impressions of it from a not being aware of what we just spent the last hour or so talking about.
Okay. So is this the how well they told the story with the sheet, basically?
Yeah, you're kind of like a test thing. I will
Or
say
what
that,
story? What story I come up with the sheet? Yeah.
yeah, she has about 30,000
What
nuyen
aspects?
unspent, which I skipped doing the incidentals of things like fake sins and your standard running gear and contacts and earbuds and all that other bullshit because
Yeah.
truth truth be told,
Yeah,
it's the same 20 to 30,000 nuyen that every character spends.
yeah. There's a solid 20K you can get just go through, like, you don't have a mini welder on here.
Exactly.
But that's not exactly character defining, so
No.
let's not focus on that. uh, Leaping mantis, what are these? Parkour?
Th-
Interesting.
those are parkour martial arts.
Interesting.
Would you like the Hero Lab save file or
No, it's fine.
okay?
I have Hero Lab, and I can just look at the sheet. Let me just take a look at the rest of the wear. The finger lighter is awesome. Very much her. Um, I'm gonna add a couple of comments that are like based on the sheet and less the story, just to start off with. The cyberarm doesn't. I don't think it has to be the offhand.
Well, that was
Obvi-
one of the things I was asking the guys in chat. It's like when you're a smoker, do you smoke with your offhand or you smoke with your main hand? I don't
I know people who do both.
see. I don't know.
I like Baron's Rat, City Slicker, School of Hard Knocks, and Toughness. I think for thematic reasons, I might ditch City Slicker.
For something else, or you
The
just
the re- Oh no, I mean ambidextrous. I don't know. It doesn't have to be necessarily a useful thing. It's just that Baron's Rat, School of Hard Knock, and Toughness. Like when I read them, they give me a certain impression,
hmm
and City Slicker is like slick, and she gives me a rough vibe.
I could feel
I
that,
don't know
but
if
how do
that's
you feel about when you look at the mechanics of City Slicker as opposed to the name and connotation of it?
well, if that's just like a +1 test for urban environments for what is it, perception and a few moving things. I don't have the
+1 dice modifier for all skills in the outdoors group when in the urban environment. So that's tracking navigation and
yeah.
survival.
Um,
Now it gets a little tougher.
yeah, I mean, like, I don't think it's gonna hurt them mechanically. I don't think it really helps them mechanically, and I don't think it adds a lot flavor wise. That Baron's Rat,
That's fair.
School of Hard Knocks, and Toughness don't already add. That would be my commentary. What does Rolling Clouds do?
Find it real quick and I will read it off to you.
I'm familiar with Kip Up. Leaping Mantis looks like it makes you jump farther, and Monkey Climb looks like you climb faster, which are both cool and hood ratty and go well with Baron's Rat and School of Hard Knocks.
So rolling clouds is about adjusting the kinetic energies thrust upon the body so that it bends and doesn't break. This includes resisting injuries from falling and jumping or from being thrown. It reduces the damage value of falling damage by 1.
That's cool. Okay. I
It's
like
not
Kip
it's not
Up
super powerful for the
too.
5 karma you invest, but it is kind of the I'm going to dive
No, it's
off
not
of this
bad. At least
building.
it's someone who knows her way around the hood. Um, the only
Let me ask you this real quick. How do you feel about natural athlete over city slicker?
what does Natural Athlete do?
+2 gymnastics test, +2 running tests.
Um, that could work. Are they the same cost?
They are the same cost.
I would also consider something like Perceptive or Guts. I don't know what the cost of those are. Just
Guts is 10. That was actually
throwing
one of the
stuff out. I'm just throwing stuff out with the same feel.
yeah. We actually took toughness over guts because we didn't have the quality space. Um, and toughness implies the same thing without giving the same uh
Kind of same
mechanic.
mechanical bonuses, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I don't think you necessarily need to go with uneducated, but I think it's definitely an option. Um, I really do get a story from the background. It's, street kid who was arrested a lot, was probably part of a gang, uh, sold drugs at some point.
But
Maybe. I mean, you have that drug dealer contact down there,
but
or bought drugs at some
probably
point.
but probably not arrested for anything serious. Just little in and out slap on the slap on the wrist
Yeah,
type stuff.
more like I would actually consider giving her uh, I know she has prejudice law enforcement.
hmm
I would consider making it like prejudice KE and then giving her a Lone Star contact,
I could see it.
like lockup guy. You know what I mean? Like those cops, assholes assholes. Like he's that one cop who's just like gave her a nice place to sleep at night. You know what I mean?
Right.
So she gets like the good side and the bad side of law enforcement. If you want to play that angle, I just like seeing other angles you can play. But yeah, no, I totally get it. Like tough street kid. I mean, she's got a wide range of physical skills. Sort of the intimidation, street etiquette, social, good stuff with the parkour for like scrambling and moving around. Homing is fits with this character great, as does urban sneaking. Um, and Disguise doesn't really, or is that as a second language is perfect. Um, yeah, I mean, she really gives across as someone who did a bunch of sort of more minor crime type stuff and is turning to the shadows because she doesn't have better options in life. But there's a lot of room with that backstory. Like she she's a perfect archetype character, if that makes sense.
It does kind of make sense. Um,
Um, it doesn't have a lot of things that are only her and not archetypal, if that makes sense.
it it does kind of make sense. I don't feel like we
That would be
are.
like my one.
Go ahead.
Uh, and that's not a bad thing either. I
No.
think you can totally you have some room with some of these skills that you can move a point here and there around. But I would even consider doing maybe dropping escape artist like 1 point and dropping intimidation a point and just leaving two floating
I'm grabbing something
for
else.
like player custom. What?
Oh, yeah, okay. So you're talking about for the GMing thing for a bit of player
For the
custom.
like personal touches, you know?
Yeah.
You have like a really interesting hood rat backstory, but like what are the things that they have that no one else does? And this is actually something I've done in other games as a GM, which has just been like, okay, and you have 1 point and you need to pick a thing that is like almost irrelevant to your archetype. Like be the street samurai who has like a point in Arcana or
Yo,
something like that.
you leave Omni out of this, all right?
No, but
I know what you mean. I'm
yeah,
just
you got the general. Yeah, I know Omni has like 1 point in almost anything and
I
everything, but
he totally has a point in Arcana, a point in magical threats, a point in um
does she have like artisan?
I think he actually does have artisan because in his first run
Yeah.
they made a paper mache bear mask because well, it was a different time then back on the hub. Um so you guys hanging out on the Twitch chat, do you
Which is
feel
great.
like
I
do you,
love the Goblin Rock specialty.
I, I did steal Omni's being arrested specialization for law enforcement stuff because
Oh
that's a
yeah.
fantastic specialization. Um
There's a Twitch chat for this right now.
yeah. Um
Um, but yeah, no, I like the sheet. It's like interesting and archetypal. The only things that I might like change a little bit are you could do some minor stuff that would make it a little bit more
a little bit more
strong from a
unique.
pure optimization standpoint.
Oh
Like
yeah,
just
that's
switch that arm over to dominant and drop a point of strength for agility in it if that fits with the money, just so you can get a solid pistols pool.
yeah, no, that's totally something that can be easily done for just
Um,
optimization stuff. That's easy. Um,
yeah, but I'm saying there's also like there's always a balance between
right.
mechanical
No,
optimization and good flavor, and I think you can make a couple of tweaks in dice pools in other directions that would make this more like, dare I say it, hub playable. Not that it isn't. It's got a pretty good
it definitely hits the
the
I want to say
requirements. Yeah.
the flavor aspect that we like to make sure characters on the hub have, and they're not just
Oh yeah, it has a lot of flavor. It has
because
more flavor than almost anything that goes through Karajan.
I didn't mean to say it like that, but I just like to think that the hub characters on a whole, we kind of try and make sure they have flavor so that you can look at Street Sam A and Street Sam B and get a feel for who they are. Um,
Yeah,
she is very definitely a not fully optimized, but still capable person. When I started throwing, like, she started off with just the Urban Explorer armor, and then I was like, you know what? At this point, I'm just going to throw on some of the other stuff to round her out because she probably has an armor jacket. They're super cheap. She probably has a ballistic mask and that kind of stuff. Just at very least from people she's taken them from. Um, which when I slapped all that on and I saw that she was up to 28 soak, I was like, all right, now we got
also,
the.
she seems more like a super warhawk kind of girl to me, but that could just be the street flavor.
So we were part of what we were talking about was does she have a like a signature weapon or things like that, or does she just use disposable stuff? And we decided that with the um with the always on the move parkour and that kind of thing, um her weaponry would reflect that. She
She's
would
not going to be tied down.
no. She probably has one, and the street line special, if you look a little bit deeper, is the only one that actually has like a smart gun and a personalized grip and that kind of stuff. The other weapons are stock, meant to be shot and oh shit,
Yeah,
I need to
right.
ditch these and throw them on the ground. Flatland's talking about how it's like she's a new runner but not unfamiliar with the shadows and their dealings and that kind of stuff. Um, what do you think, guys? Well, the two, maybe three of you, if Patty is still there, and he probably is. Uh, would you call this crazy little idea a bit of a success? Do you think Niall nailed it with what we were talking about, or what do you think, guys? Oh God, Echo. Well, the two, maybe Patty is still there, and he probably is. Worked out. Would you call this crazy little OP success? I'm gonna hope that Poet has fixed the echo on his.
I fixed the echo.
Uh, okay,
That's because you sent me the Twitch link and I hadn't muted it yet. Yeah.
we could totally get a. Where can we find a random point? There's one random point of palming can randomly become free fall. Yeah, no, that's totally legit. Um, yeah, no, that was. I had fun with that, guys. I'm looking forward to doing it again tomorrow.
The other thing I like about this character too is you can very easily see how you would make it better in different ways. Like it has different ways to grow. Whereas
You
you
mean
look
as
at
in a
the
character
other
gen, or as in a growth from here out?
growth from here out. I mean, like let's say you submitted this and you were playing this, there were still a lot of ways you could go with it. Not in terms of like what they wanted to do, like what they're capable of, but like what they would be doing next. Like, are they going to become more of like a hardcore heavy Sam? Are they going to become more of like a particularly rough face almost? Are they going to stay in that middle ground? Are they going to? There's just a lot of ways they can go.
Yeah. And some of the optimization things in character gen are very easy to see and to do without really hurting the flavor. Like I would drop on educated and pick up maybe bad reputation. If somebody's been arrested this many times, even if it's never for anything. Um,
Yeah, it'd be like that. It'd be reputation for having for bad luck, even though they don't actually have bad luck.
yeah.
because bad luck is a horrible, rough quality.
Yeah.
Switch the cyber arm. I don't know money wise how that works. If you can like get the agility higher on the
Oh
cyber
yeah,
arm,
if we wanted, I could just go in here real quick since I have it open. Cyber
just
arm,
crank it up to
main hand, modifications.
high higher agility, slightly look drop one of the other bonuses on the arm or the strength, and just crank up the cyber arm to pistolero beastliness.
Now we can get up to a 16 in pistols pretty easily just by switching the cyber arm and
That's
adding some enhanced agility to it.
Yeah, I mean that's sort of like you do that, and all of a sudden it's you're a salmon, you hit 30 soak, and well, I think it's like 28 soak. But if she wanted to get the
She's at
best possible,
she's at 28 soak with PPP kits, an armor jacket, and a ballistic mask. So her
and 30
first,
starts, yeah,
let's say, 40,000 Nuyen she makes, which is, if you dump if you dump karma into money, can very quickly get her bones.
past that, yeah, she can grab bones real fast, and then she's got a ton of soak,
That would
and
put her up to
16
34.
dice and pistol, 16 dice and pistols, which is enough to hurt some people
Yeah.
and not be hurt in charge. The other like thing, you could go for a big karma spend, which I personally liked a lot on combat characters, is adrenaline surge.
That's a good one. She also, one of the big gaping holes she has is her lack of initiative boosters, but she will probably be taking drugs because that is very much in
That's
flavor
only a
for this.
first character, but that's also why I said adrenaline surge too, because that
Yeah.
first round
In addition to
puts
picking up different martial arts of different kinds to do all kinds of crazy things. She doesn't have like the best strength and or physical limit, but a strength of 4 and a physical limit of 6 isn't terrible.
it's
Um,
not.
yeah, but this is now at almost 2 hours, so I'm gonna stop the stream and the recording and see about how it uploads to YouTube. Um, Mostly so that when I try to do it tomorrow and then for that GMing thing on Monday, um, I know how it works, and I obviously need to get better at the awkward pauses and dead air and all of that other wonderful stuff that comes with not
No,
having a.
you're good. Oh, what's the thing you're doing Monday? You're basically just gonna take a bunch of people and help them make interesting characters, or is it?
No, Monday is more than that. Monday I am going to run one of two runs that I have not decided. Well, I've decided one of them. Um, I am undecided on the other one. I'm going to grab a couple of people from /r/Shadowrun who are looking for GM advice. I'm going to sit them down and do we're going to do it like on the hub. We're going to do a run. At certain parts during the run, I will call for a break and we'll go, get a drink, go potty, whatever it is that you got to do. But when we come back, we're going to sit down and we're going to talk like GMs about the section that we have just passed. So like you go to the meet, you get the job, you do some legwork, and you get on to like it's time to set up to do the second legwork section, or to start mobilizing on things. In between there, we will sit down and have a conversation about basically everything that just happened. I've GM'd before. I think I've GM'd for all three of you guys, four of you guys, if Patty is still here, in the past. So you know how I'm kind of all over the place with my balancing of camera time and that kind of stuff. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about probably like GM prep. I don't want it to be a rules discussion situation because That's not important. The rules
No,
that
it's not.
for the slash Shadowrun is whatever works at your table, and I'm not here to tell you what to work on your table. I am here to help you decide what makes sense with things, to show how to split camera time, to do all the rest of the stuff if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, no. I was just curious what you were doing because I know you've been talking a bunch about the story through a sheet, and you liked my initial reaction to Slate.
Yeah. Um.
So I wasn't sure if you were doing more of that because you had mentioned that in the our Shadowrun thread, or
No.
if you were doing one of the
Tomorrow I
new
plan to
new
do
characters.
another character or two tomorrow, depending upon how things goes. Hopefully with more people because I will actually advertise it. And just to see what shakes loose, I will probably leave the same four pictures up that I used today as a bit of an experiment. If they pick the same one as her, um, to see where they take the picture, because the picture can go a lot of different ways. Um, One of the first things we were talking about today when discussing it was they looked at it and they're like, all right, mage, and let me just scroll all the way back to the top, maybe. Yeah, no, it's gone. Um, the guys were looking at the four pictures and going, all right, that one's a mage, that one's a street Sam, that one's a face, that one's a other thing, and trying to kind of like assign things to them beforehand. And I'm like, well, is the alpha mage, or is she a rigger in a workshop? Is she a somebody that's gotten bioluminescent tattoos as a choice of her style?
Yeah,
Um,
something that can also be fun to do is to give someone a picture for like a different archetype. Maybe not one that screams that, but one that leans a certain way. Just be like, make it a mage or make it a decker.
yeah. Um,
It's good for testing your creativity. Some of them just aren't going to work. Like the dude's got fire, holding fireballs in his hands. Good luck, but
yeah. That's right. They were calling the two dudes Han Solo and Star Lord, which is incredibly appropriate. Um, but I'm kind of curious as to where that is going to go. Um, Part of me feels bad because this stuff has taken away from my